Waka, what's up, and welcome back to the channel for yet another FC Finch review. And today we are back to Eaglemoss, and we are going to be going right down the list. We are on our saga, if you will, of Wolf 359 ships, and these are going to be the ships that Eaglemoss released that were either destroyed or heavily damaged at the massacre of Wolf 359, of course, taking place, the aftermath taking place in Best of Both Worlds Part 2. Now, Eaglemoss made models of each and every one of these ships. We started off with the U.S.S. Melbourne many moons ago, mainly because that model is particularly rare amongst all these ships, but now we're going through the line of ships that wasn't necessarily rare, but you know what's still kind of interesting, especially with the fact that these are really the only models, save for the ones that were built for the show, that we have of these ships. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Niagara class U.S.S. Princeton. And again, you know, a lot of these ships, when they made this segment, or this was only like a 30-second to a minute-long segment of the TV show, and they had to make several ships. They just took took several Enterprise D and Enterprise A model kits, and they cut them up, and you know, they made it look like we had a whole Federation fleet damage. So a lot of these ships are the very definition of kit bash. So again, really exciting stuff. So let's get right into it and take a look at the Niagara class. And of course, we're going to start off by taking a look at the magazine. So on the front, of course, we have a nice 3D generated view of the Niagara class U.S.S. Princeton NCC 59804. And again, if you didn't know any better, you wouldn't notice this is the third nacelle sticking out. One of the few unique starship designs that had 3 nacelles. And it is a cruiser launched in the 24th century. It is 565 meters long at a warp speed of 9.6. And there, of course, we have our obligatory instructions how to put it in the stand, Niagara class, designing the ship, Ira, Stephen Bear, and on-screen time. And then, of course, we have our typical front orthographic view of the Niagara class. And then, of course, it is a Niagara class. It is from Starfleet. It is from the 24th century. It is 565 meters long, approximately, at 530 crew, which is not a very big crew when you consider this is about roughly 100 meters, actually about 80 meters shy of the Enterprise D's length. But then, of course, we're not accounting for height now, are we? And then, of course, it has phaser emitters and photon torpedoes and a maximum speed of warp 9.6. And then there we have some nice underside views of the U.S.S. Princeton. And there we go. And here we have a nice 3D view of the Princeton, of course, a nice blue deflector in that bottom nacelle. Starfleet Niagara class. The Niagara class had 3 warp nacelles, and it shared profound parts on both the Galaxy and Ambassador classes. And you can see that right there again, all that kit bashing. And of course, there we have. So I believe that's the Q shoe. This is from Best of Both Worlds. And then, of course, some nice 3D views of the Princeton right there coming around a planetary orbit. And then, of course, we have a shot of the Enterprise C and the Enterprise D. Why that's in here, I don't know. And then, of course, one of my favorite pages of these magazines, the orthographic views of the Princeton. Quite a big ship, so only 2 orthographic views here. But you can see the very unique nacelle strut design. Very interesting, to be sure. And then, of course, there we have the actual Princeton model, which was, you know, relative, probably about a couple feet long. And there it is, like, you know, all saucer missing and busted up nacelles. I don't think we ever saw the ship in one piece. And there it is, of course. And then we have the Princeton, and I think either the no, this is the Firebrand. Looks, again, I love these pictures. And of course, we have the man himself, Ira Stephen Bear. And then a few other image shots from the TV show, yesterday's Enterprise and whatnot. And there we have a lot of production shots. Again, that's one thing I love about these magazines. You know, you can find these on the internet, but you know, it's still cool just to kind of go through these magazines to see them. Of course, we have Cole Meany, and Gates McFadden, and you know, then of course, Best of Both Worlds. I am Locutus of Borg. And then a final nice oncoming shot of the U.S.S. Princeton right coming at us, designed by Greg Jane. I apologize if I mispronounced that name, sir. And of course, our top orthographic view of the ship on back. Moving on to the stand now. I also glued this stand, and believe it or not, this is the stand I have the least luck with. I'm not sure if it's the angle of these jaws, but this ship loves to fall over. Maybe it's just the fact that it's such an awkward design, but it loves to fall over. In fact, yeah, you can already see this nacelle. Yeah, this, I need to actually glue this nacelle again. That's right, again. This ship actually took a tumble in my display shelf about a year or two ago, and it actually just took a tumble on one of the previous filming versions of this video. So I got to get back in and glue this nacelle, but for the sake of the review, it'll be good. But yeah, just beware. This stand likes to, I've never seen a ship fall out of its stand so much as I've seen this ship. Maybe the Romulan Warbird XL, but this ship is a very big contender for liking to fall out of its stand. So not sure if that's poor stand design or other. But there you go, and just something to be mindful of. And without further ado, let's get a good look at the Niagara class. And again, you know, the Eaglemoss, leave it to them to decide to give us models of all these weird and crazy looking ships. Just absolutely beautiful. So yeah, and there we go. And you can just see lots of use of the Enterprise D nacelle designs. I think I'll go to the other side so I can touch the nacelle that is regularly attached. But you can see that these are aligned pretty well. And in fact, we can go to the back and you kind of just see, and yeah, you know, got this one a little bit at an angle, but I'm sure if, no, it's at an angle in general. We're not going to touch it too much because it is liking to move around on me. So, and you can just kind of see, you can kind of see where it had the fracture and whatnot, and I kind of glued it on, so I got to definitely reattach that. But again, they got the nice transparent plastic on here, the deep red transparent plastic for the Bassard collectors, a little bit lighter tone than the Galaxy class, and that's on all three nacelles. Looks really good. I love this nacelle strut design. It's a shame we didn't see struts like this a bit more widely used, but again, really cool. Love kind of the hints of gray, and you can see the light Aztecing. Again, shout out to Eaglemoss for giving us such a really detailed model. You can see even the Aztecing on the bottom of the saucer section, and then of course you have the escape pods, the indentations, NCC 59804. On the bottom, and of course all the nacelles have the pendants. You can see the little vents on back, the nice little gold ribbed area. It looks really good. It's kind of like a bronze color, and of course, yeah, look at that, they painted a little impulse engine right on back, right there, the back of the deck, so that looks good. Then you got the nice ribbed area for the, it's a very TOS-ish style shuttle bay, and a really short and stubby neck, kind of taking hints from the Ambassador class, which of course took those black ribbed hints from the Excelsior. You can see the ribs on it, but obviously it's kind of hard to get a finger in there, but I'm sure that you do touch them, you can feel them. And then they use a nice transparent plastic for the deflector, shines a nice bright blue, looks really sharp. And again, going back, you got the indentations for the escape pods, lots of escape pods, 500 plus crew, and of course the phaser ships all the way around the saucer. And again, like similar to the oh man, what was the, darn it. Anyway, similar to the previous Wolf Ride 359, it feels like there is die cast in the saucer section. I love kind of the bulging bridge, as it were. So you got, you know, it's kind of like this bulge. It's like a secondary deck, and then you have, you know, another bulge and then the actual bridge, and then you got escape pods fore and aft. So it looks like a shuttle bay entry right here at the top. Everything, the bridge nicely molded in, and again, phaser strips all the way around. Looks really good, and I love how they made you know, they even got like a little window details here. That's super cool. That's really crazy attention to detail for such a not seen very much ship. U.S.S. Princeton, NCC 59804, and yeah, no, again, just really good looking model, especially for the limits. And let's see, we can get on the side. Does it? Yeah, looks like we got text. I can't read it too much, but it looks like it says Starfleet, so it definitely is there. And then of course Princeton, then you can see they got the little shuttle docking bay that we would see on the Constitution class ship. So again, yeah, no, stunning model overall. Looks really superb. I love the detail for especially a ship that isn't seen very much. And for a couple quick comparisons, so first off, there it is next to the Galaxy class, and you can see that the ship, even, you know, I mean, they really tried to kind of, make this size comparable to the standard Model D. So this is a bit more in scale than the Cheyenne class was. Again, like, you know, you figure we're shy about 80 meters of the Enterprise D. Like, so this actually looks really good. I mean, like, lengthwise anyway, not height-wise. The Enterprise D should be significantly bigger than the ship. This ship is a bit more squished down than it is, but you know, you could just see, I mean, again, lengthwise, if you want a lengthwise, and again, like I said, Eaglemoss really doesn't design its ships in scale with one another, so just something to be mindful of. But yeah, you could just kind of see, so you kind of see how the front works out. And lastly but not leastly, let's get in there with its compatriot. And this is one of the only times we're going to do this, because as soon as we get more ships, and there it is with the Cheyenne class, the U.S.S. Ahwahnee. Now, again, this scale is a bit off because we know that the Ahwahnee is around, what, 300 some odd meters. So, yeah, these two ships are out of scale, with one of the Ahwahnee a little bit smaller than this, probably, I would say, about up to here or so on the nacelle. But you can kind of see how these two, they're brothers in arms fighting the good fight at Wolf 359. So there we go for that. Let me get the Ahwahnee straightened out here in my grasp. All these ships get a big honker. So there we go. That's a nice side view. You kind of see just the family symmetry that the ships shared with one another. So again, really cool for a comparison. All right, and let's summarize. And there it is for the Eaglemoss Hero Collector U.S.S. Princeton, the Niagara class starship, part of our Wolf 359 Fallen saga, if you will. I have not given, like, I'm just going to call this Wolf 359 ships. I haven't really given this a crazy name yet. And no turntable. That's right. This thing is so unstable in this damn stand. I don't want to take the chance that it's going to fall yet again, and I'm going to have to replace a ship on the stand. So yeah, no turntable this time, but you can kind of see the ship in here in its all glory. And again, just kind of be mindful of the stand and whatnot. But other than that, this is a really cool ship. And again, if you can get this, I wouldn't overpay for this ship. And you know, you should be able to find all these ships with some relative ease. They were not really entirely rare by any set standards. Once they all got restocked, that was it. They were there to stay. So, but yeah, you know, again, if you are a fan of the obscure ships of Star Trek, the ships that we saw on screen for a handful of seconds and never saw again, then I highly recommend this ship for you. And of course, I am a huge fan of that. I love the working class starships and whatnot. So yeah, this is definitely a ship for you if you are a fan of that, or just Federation designs in general, especially Kitbosh's, because this is right up there with the best of them, especially with the goofy 3 nacelle designs, because they loved excess back in those days. So, and I cannot argue with that. So that being said, if you are interested in this ship or any other Eaglemoss ships, you can check out realmerch.com. Not sure if this ship is in stock on there. Last time I checked, I don't think I saw it, but hey, you know what? Take another look. I am not beyond having failures in my life, so you know, take a look and feel free to, if you can find it, definitely pick it up for a good price. It might even be a little less, I'm assuming, because a few ships are like $15 on there. It's really cool. But that being said, it is time to end the review. So if you like this review, consider liking this video. Also, if you want to see more Wolf 359 ships, we are doing a saga right now, so hit that subscribe button. You do not want to miss the next episode. I try and do 2 to 3 Eaglemoss ships every week, so we'll be doing them, and there's quite a few other stuff coming in this week, so we will try and do as much as we can this week and get further along in our saga. And that being said, I have been FC Finch. Thank you so much for watching. Live long and prosper.